Today we're going to talk about burpees and the art of pool maintenance, which makes perfect sense. Back in 2004, friends of mine and myself decided to create a race called Spartan Race. And the concept was we wanted to rip people off the couch, millions of people. And we felt that the only way to do that was to create something that was fun, military inspired. Who wouldn't want to be a Navy SEAL for a day? And so we created it, and it worked. And before you knew it, tens of thousands of people were competing in this. But we had one problem. People were skipping the obstacles. They would approach an obstacle and they want to go around it, kind of like we take elevators because we don't want to take the stairs. And so we said, we have to come up with a solution to this that's athletic in nature, and it's going to get people healthy, because if this keeps going the way it's going, there's going to be lots of people doing these penalties, whatever they are. So we came up with the Burpee. 30 burpee penalty if you decide to skip an obstacle or if you can't do an obstacle. Now, what does that have to do with swimming pools? So I'm not some crazy trainer or even in the military. I was a swimming pool maintenance guy for most of my life. What's interesting about the swimming pool, it's very much like the human body. Human body's 13 gallons of water on average. Swimming pool typically is 20,000 gallons of water. If you were to take French fries and coffee and soda and all the things we eat on a daily basis and dump it into 20,000 gallons of water, that pool wouldn't do very well, turn green pretty quickly. But yet we expect our 13-gallon pool here to handle that. The other interesting thing about the swimming pool is if you look at that graphic, only the top 10, 15% of the pool actually gets cleaned in most cases. And that's like us going to the gym, going walking, doing all these things we mostly call exercise. The burpee, on the other hand, rips the pool out of the ground, shakes it up, and gets every square inch of the pool clean. Burpees suck. I'm going to show you. They don't ever get better. I'm going to show you what a burpee is. I don't know how many people know what a burpee is, but a burpee starts with a jump up, come down, do a push-up, come up, and jump back up. And so this year, we had 650,000 people compete in our races. On average, people do about 90 burpees because they mix some obstacles or they're afraid and they want to go around them. That means we've doled out this year 60 million burpees. 60 million burpees. So there's a lot of upset people globally with me right now. So I felt bad one night and I thought, here we are giving all these people burpees to do. I need to test and make sure it's healthy. Like, what happens if I do a lot of burpees? Will I die? So So I said, I'm going to do 400 burpees a day for 60 days and just see what happens. I'll stop walking, I'll stop running, I'm just going to do burpees every day. And so for 60 days, I did 400 burpees a day, and it was terrible. And at the end of the 60 days, I competed with a friend of mine who's an amazing athlete who started the series with me, and we ran up Killington, straight up the mountain. And much to my surprise, I killed him. I crushed him. And so I knew burpees are really the perfect exercise. Oh, hang on. So friends of mine that work for us decided that it was unfair that we had doled out 60 million burpees, and even though I had done 400 a day for 60 days, that they would get even with me by offering all our fans on Facebook the opportunity to like and share our page, and in doing so, that would require me to do one burpee. So I didn't know they were doing this. This was a new group of employees. And I got stuck that day with 10,247 burpees to do. And I thought there's got to be a way out of it. But then I thought, well, the whole world actually is mad at me, and I have to do this, and we probably have to do it live streaming. So on a Friday night, cold night in New Jersey, I set up shop outside on a deck, and we put the cameras on me, and I didn't know if I was going to make it to 400. I knew I could do 400. And I said, don't tell me what I'm up to. I'm just going to start doing burpees. And no matter if I cry, no matter what, just don't tell me what I'm up to until I hit the number. And we're about 2 hours in, and I needed some motivation. I asked them to turn the radio on, and the only music we can get was Captain and Tennille and like love songs. And it was terrible, to say the least. By 8 a.m., I was broken. My burpees looked like an old man. I would get down like this. I couldn't even get back up. And I thought, what's going to happen is, I don't know if I'm up to 9,000 at this point, 1,000. I just didn't know. I was out of my mind. And I said, people are not going to accept these burpees as real burpees. So I convinced myself to stop at this point. And I asked how many I'd done, and they said 4,000. I thought, 4,000 is a great number. I can't believe I did 4,000 is good. So I packed it in, and during the week, I did another 6,247 because I felt guilty. And it was a lot of burpees. And I didn't die, and I felt great. So Big Evil, how does he fit in? So to lastly confirm how great the burpee is in an exercise, I was interviewed by 60 Minutes. And during the interview, they asked, as most people do, how do we get ready for one of your races? And I said, simple, you do burpees. And they said, we know the burpee. And I said, how do you guys know the burpee? And they said, well, we interviewed Big Evil. And Big Evil was the guy who created the Bloods, those two gangs that fought in LA, and he killed 22 people. And he was in solitary confinement, small little prison cell, on death row. But he was 275 pounds of pure muscle. He looked incredible, they said. And so they asked, how do you stay in great shape? And he says, simple, I do burpees. I do 1,000 burpees a day in solitary confinement. So Big Evil proved burpee is the ultimate exercise. So the question is, what do we want our swimming pool to look like, right? Our 13 gallons. And so I am going to throw a 30-day challenge out at all of us. Would you guys be willing, and we'll show with a raise of hands, to do 30 burpees a day for the next 30 days and prove what I already know? I've got one hand. Everybody's going to do it. It's great. You can email me at joe@spartan.com and just let me know how it goes. Because I guarantee you, you're going to learn what I learned, which is burpees are the ultimate exercise for humans.